see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Work with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next. Whip this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode, podcast, talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm joined here by my good buddy, Mythic AZ, here to chop it up about the Arizona Cardinals. What's up, brother, man? How you been, and how's life?
Man, it is going good. We're ramping up towards the NFL season, so this is the time that we're waiting for. Cardinals fans, NFL fans, we're inching closer. Schedule just released. I'm doing good, though. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I haven't heard a buzz like this in a very, very long time. I'm not sure if you actually seen this tweet. I'm hopefully I still have it here. There was a tweet from. This is not it. No, it's a guy that it's a part of like the local news, or it might be Arizona Republic. But basically, he was saying like the season tickets are sold out already.
First
like
time
from the
since
lower
2009.
level. Yeah.
Insane.
Isn't that cool? It's super cool, man. There's a buzz among the valley, and you can't really ask for more. We spent 2 years of very, very angry in the last part of Cliff Kingsbury to we're not going to accomplish anything to finally right now that we're going to start doing some stuff. And I'm pretty optimistic. I think you are as well.
No,
big
time.
We're gonna be diving into today. So,
Big
all right.
time.
We're going to have a 30-minute show today, a 30-minute podcast, chopping it up. We're going to be diving into favorite games, what you expect. And then we're going to be saving the last portion of this podcast to specifically talk about the disrespect that the Cardinals are already getting amongst the NFC West. And let's have a good time. All right, so let's first start off here by the schedule was dropped yesterday. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure you already made a video about this, and I'm not sure if you made a video prediction, but this is what the schedule looks like. I want to just kind of get a grasp overview of how you feel about the schedule for the 2024 Arizona Cardinals. What do you see the Cardinals accomplishing in the 2024 season? What are your thoughts?
So genuinely realistic, like I'm sitting at the schedule and I think we are a bottom floor team of 6 wins. I think if we go anywhere under 6 wins, I would be absolutely surprised. And that is like the absolute floor. But when I'm looking at it realistically, I want to say it's like 7 to 8. And then the ceiling, I could see us getting up to 11. Like there's a lot of games on here. If you really break down, if you want to pull it back up real quick, we play 4 rookie quarterbacks potentially.
Yeah, we do.
We have Drake May. So I believe it starts with Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Jaden Daniels in week 4 against the Washington Commanders. And we play Caleb Williams, who I would have loved to get a lot earlier than week 9. That's just me personally. I would have loved to get Caleb Williams in weeks 1 through 3. I thought the Bills were going to be the opener, and I kind of thought this for a while. I heard some rumor going back like 2 weeks ago, and I want Buffalo early. I really do. I think Buffalo struggling early on is something that is very realistic, especially without Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. I hope we get them early. That's what happened, and I think they're going to struggle a little bit, but we got 4 rookie quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, potentially J.J. McCarthy in week 13, and then who's the other one? Caleb Williams. So 4 rookie quarterbacks, those could be 4 wins for us if we can catch them struggling early on, because they are top draft picks, but the teams around them aren't great besides Caleb Williams. Commanders are up to a little bit, but I'm not really worried like that. Like the Patriots and the Vikings, I think should be free wins. There's nothing free in the NFL. No, we play teams like Carolina for some reason who always beat up on us. But, I mean, I don't think this is the same regime. And then the division games, I could see us winning 3. So, like, there's just a lot of games on here where I'm like, okay, like, we're like a 7-floor team with the potential to get up to 11.
I agree. I agree. I think the floor is 7 too. I mean, we technically should have won 5 games last year, right? And I get it, 4 from 5. Oh, what are we? What are we exactly getting excited about? But I agree with you. I think the floor should be 7. I mean, you're starting off with Kyler Murray from the jump. In week 1, we're gonna have Kyler Murray, right? And obviously, we all hope that he can stay healthy throughout the entirety of the year, because that's definitely something that we're gonna be keeping our eye on. But the fact that we have our franchise quarterback coming back and starting the full year, it's definitely something to be excited about. Now, there is a group of fans that are not sold on Kyler. There's a group of fans out there that are very, very anti-Kyler. They want to move on. And I can see their point when they say the Cardinals are only going to win 4 or 5 games. But like, honestly, the Cardinals did what they should have done this offseason. Do you agree? Like the free agency, we added pieces. We've gotten so much better. Now, yes, we didn't get those big names. We're all fully aware of that. But the draft has been absolutely killer. And it obviously starts with Marvin Harrison Jr., automatically upgrading that wide receiving core. So to say that the Cardinals are going to go, one or two more wins with our franchise quarterback back and others assets that we brought in is just, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to say lazy, but it kind of is. It's kind of like a lazy take. Like, I get it. There's some people that don't like Kyler. I understand that. But to say the Cardinals aren't going to improve, more than 6 wins when you got your franchise quarterback back. And we're talking about a guy that's potential top 10 type of quarterback, but he's been unfortunately hurt a lot. So it's just crazy to me. It really is. So what are your thoughts real quick, I guess, about those fans out there in terms of the people that are saying we're only going to win 5 or 6 games?
So I want to touch on the Kyler thing real quick because a lot of people don't really understand that Kyler is a fringe top 10 quarterback. He really doesn't fall outside of the top 10. At the bottom, he's like a 12, potentially, minimum 12. That's the absolute furthest. Cardinals fans and me and you, we're going to push for the top 10. He genuinely is a top 10 quarterback. The only knock on his game that I will always have is durability. If he's durable and he can play the full 17, there's no reason he's not going to be a top 10 quarterback. If he's healthy, no doubt in my mind. So if we have him for a full 17 slate, how many games could we have won last year if Josh Dobbs wasn't the quarterback? 4, 5?
During that Josh Dobbs, you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Dobbs
stint, the first 3 games could have been wins for us, and people just fail to realize that. Josh Dobbs fumbled the games away. I had someone in my comment section the other day talking about how Josh Dobbs is actually playing solid for us, and I'm like, I watched him choke the Giants game away, fumble the Commanders game away in the 4th quarter. I don't know what people saw in Josh Dobbs, but Kyler Murray came back and our record could have easily been 3-3, I believe. I think we got smoked in Chicago. Was it Seattle who smoked it? No, it was the Rams. Tyler Higbee went off.
Us, yeah.
The Rams, the Steelers, we beat them. We beat the Eagles. Could have beat Seattle. This team is heavily improved. If Kyler stays healthy, that is the one knock I have on him. No problem. We re-upped on everything. Almost every position on defense is upgraded. It's crazy to think about. Safeties were kind of solidified. Everything outside of that is upgraded. Everything.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, and here's the thing too, it's such a small portion. It's such a small portion of the fan base. I ended up putting a poll question here not too long ago. I believe it was 6 days ago, I guess per this screenshot here. I ended up asking everybody, how many wins would the Cardinals have in 2024? And literally 3% says under 5. We got 51% saying 6 to 9. We got 40% saying 10 to 13. And then you got 6% saying 13 to 17%. To me, I agree with the majority. Now, I probably shouldn't have done 6 to 9 because there's a lot of room for, I don't know. It's just a lot of gray area there. I probably should have done under 6 and then 7 to 10 is what I should have done. But I kind of agree with the majority. I think the Cardinals are probably going to land anywhere between 9 to 10 wins. So I'm kind of stuck between no man's land between the 51% and 40% personally. But there's a portion of Cardinal fans that are saying we're not going to accomplish much. But to me, I don't know, man. It's just, let's see what happens. It's the way I like to look at it.
I like that. It's a lazy take. That is a perfect thing. People just fail to realize. People within the NFL kind of understand that this Cardinals team isn't the same. You have the 49ers who came out last year and said, this team is tough. And then they play Philadelphia and they're like, okay, Jalen Hurts isn't really a quarterback. They can pass the ball. They're like, Nick Bosa came out and said that, word for word. The people in the 49ers are like, yeah, this is a tough football team. George Kittle came out here. Heck of a football team. They're going to keep building. They're going to get better. They're actually going to be tough. They come out and trash Philly the next week and smoke them. They're not going to sit here and tell a division team oh yeah, they're tough. If you really want to, you're going to downplay them. But they're I'm not worried about them. If they're really trash, I'm not worried about them. It's just this stupid air raid offense or blah, blah, blah. It's nothing. They came out here. They're like, this team is tough. The Cardinals are building a culture. It's not Cliff Kingsbury, air raid, pretty boy football anymore. This is Smash Mouth. And the way we drafted it kind of proves that we're kind of coming into this with the mindset we're going to run again and we're going to be better than we were last year. And that offense was top 5 or top 10, our offense in the back half with Kyler Murray. I believe all of our rankings were pushing top 5, which is crazy.
It was an offense that definitely obviously flourished a lot more under Kyler, and especially when he got more comfortable, it just was a recipe for success. And I'm just super excited to see what he's going to do from the jump, from the start of the 2024 season, as opposed to waiting until the last part of the season and only getting 8 games, which is a good sample size, but
7,
still,
8.
We all believe that we should have won that Seattle game, and we all now have Marvin Harrison Jr. So thank you so very much. But let's dive into the schedule here real quick. We're not going to dive deep because everybody knows what the schedule looks like. I want to talk real quick about the first 3 games. I think we can both acknowledge the fact that that is a juggernaut, or at least a gauntlet of the way the Cardinals are going to start the 2024 season, right? You got the Bills, you got the Rams, and you got the Lions. Realistically, Mythic right now, and I don't want to deep dive into all of it, but I want to ask you, from the start of the 2024 season, realistically, how do you see the Arizona Cardinals playing out with those first 3 games? Bills, Rams, and Lions. Go.
Oh man, these first 3 are tough. This could be a 1-2 game. I really think it could. And I think the first 8 are hell, personally. Like, I'm looking at those first 8, I was like, dear Lord. But I mean, like, it can go any way. You know what I mean? Like, the Bills, no one knows how they're going to be. Like, genuinely, that team kind of blew up. The defense isn't the same defense. They're getting older. They had to make cuts. It's kind of like the Chargers. The Chargers had to make so many moves in the offseason because they went all in with Justin Herbert under a rookie quarterback contract. They paid him, and then it caught up to him. So they had to make all those cuts around. They don't have the same defense. They don't have the same receivers. They have Keon Coleman, but as a rookie wide receiver, going to come in here, kind of elevate that team. Like, he could. He really could, because we have a rookie receiver, and we're expecting that too. But at the same time, it is a very different thing, in my opinion, because the Bills aren't as dynamic as the Cardinals in terms of run game. I don't think James Cook is as good as James Conner. I don't think that line is as good, but Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray is right now. I will say that.
Yes.
And I mean, he's a mother trucking problem. Josh Allen is tough. Like, you're not just bringing Josh Allen down. And the dynamic ability with him, it's tough. But then Matthew Stafford is in week 2. How's that going to play out? Matthew Stafford, I have as the 6th best quarterback in the league right now. I really do. I think Matthew Stafford's so good. He had elbow arthritis. I thought he was going to like decline, fall off a cliff, or just be like an average quarterback. And he just comes out here and makes Puka Nacua a Pro Bowl receiver and makes him look elite. Right. Like, it's just ridiculous what Matthew Stafford does. He elevates his players around him. And that's what I'm saying. He kind of has like the Aaron Rodgers effect, maybe not to the highest level as Aaron Rodgers does, because he's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. But he elevated that whole team around him. Like, they smacked us in the face. So I'm hoping this year it's a little bit different, but those first 2 games are tough. And then who's week 3? Detroit?
Lions, yep.
It just doesn't get easier. We just played a team in the NFC Championship last year who honestly should have won. They had a lead and choked it away.
Yeah.
And they had some questionable decisions, but I mean, decisions that got them to that point. So it's going to be a tough one, because we lost to Detroit. What was it? 2021 when we were 10-1, I believe, or 10-3. I think we were 10-3 and they were like 1-10 or 1-11. And we gave them their second win. It was ridiculous. So this Detroit team is crazy.
Yeah, I know the Detroit team is going to be very good. So you think 1-2, you're saying?
1-2 or 2-1. I don't see a sweep either way. I just can't see it.
I mean, there is a chance we can go 0-3. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't see it.
Okay. Slight chance.
There's definitely a chance.
Baby
there's like a 10% chance that does.
There's
happen.
no way that the Cardinals can accept this. I guess that's what I'm saying, right? There's always a chance. Who do you think those 3 games? Because I personally think right now I'm being crazy optimistic, and people in the chat are probably going to bring me. I think we can go 2-1. Like, I think we can go 2-1. I think we have a team to be able to compete with these 3 teams. The team that I'm really sitting out here and saying they have a better, well-rounded team is the Lions. I think the Lions can be the first L, but I feel like the Cardinals can go and beat the Bills, because this is the 100%. Way I like to look at it. I think the Bills are going to severely underestimate the Arizona Cardinals, because listen to everybody out there. Everybody has the Cardinals. Not everybody, but there's a good amount of people out there that have the Arizona Cardinals on the bottom of the division already. I've seen somebody give us a prediction about having 6 wins, which is crazy to me, because they almost kind of forgot that we probably arguably have one of the best quarterbacks in the division, right? In my opinion, when he's healthy, right, he could be as dynamic as we've seen out there. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, the disrespect is real, and we're going to be diving into that a little later on. But I think the Cardinals can go into Buffalo and punch them in the mouth. I think it's going to be very similar to maybe that. Remember that, was it 2 years ago that we played the Tennessee Titans, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're not going to beat the Titans. King Henry's going to run all over you." And then we came up there, and we punched him in the mouth. and they were like, whoa, this team is actually pretty darn good.
And that was week 1. We had 5 touchdowns by Kyler Murray or whatever. And I believe Chandler Jones had like an insane game. I think he had 5 sacks? 5 sacks, 5 touchdowns for Kyler. And we just came out here and kind of statement gamed it. I mean, we were the underdogs that season too. And look at what happened. We started 7-0, 8-0. You never know. That's the thing. You really never know until you get on the field what a team is. On paper, they could be the most dynamic team. Like the New York Jets, they went out and they signed so many people. A lot of people are hyping them up. Their win line is like 9.5, 10, but they're all injury prone. You know what I mean? Like all those players could get hurt by week 5, and you're not looking at the same team. The Cardinals could come in here with the youth, with the quarterback that they really fully believe in. They could be 6-2 to start the season. Like you never know. And it's like, oh, wow, this team, this is the shocker team. No one saw this coming. But like I'm telling you guys, maybe if this year's not the year, it might not be. You know what I mean? This might be the second step that we take in this process. Get the 7-8 wins, hit the next level. But I'm telling you, this team is trending in the right direction. And you've been on this too. You see it too.
I agree. I think the Cardinals can punch the Bills in the mouth. They lost a lot more pieces than they added. They lost a lot of pieces this offseason. So I think I agree with you. I think Josh Allen is the better quarterback. But when you're looking at wide receiving core, running back core compared to them, I feel like the Cardinals are better. I truly do in terms of weapons. Obviously, it's just going to need to translate on the field, and we're going to have to kind of see from there. But like the Rams, they've had our number since the Sean McVay era for quite some time. But like if the Cardinals want to come out here and breathe a different type of football, right, smash mouth, that's where we got to set it. That's where we got to set the dynamic in week 1 and week 2. Now, can we get caught up slipping versus the Lions? Yeah, and that's completely fine. I would love to start off 2-1. That would be a miracle because of just the gauntlet that we're starting off in this 3-game stretch. So I see 2-1 personally. Call me crazy, call me a homer. That's fine. But I believe in this team. I truly do.
I see it. I could see 1-2, 2-1. I just can't see a 3-0 or 0-3. Like it could happen either way. Like there's definitely a chance that we lose all of them. There's a chance we win all of them. I just don't see it being high in either way. I just can't. But 2-1 is very realistic. And I think the 2 games that I think we get are Buffalo. And I'd probably say the Rams. Like it's just the 2 games that make the most sense. Okay. Detroit, I think Detroit will play close, but maybe lose by like 7-10. It'll be a game that kind of gets ugly in like the second half. But I think we're going to play teams a lot better than we played them last year. Like I don't think the Rams are going to dog us like that. Seattle, I don't know why people think Seattle is going to be like good this year. I don't get it. Like they kind of gutted that team. I'm also not a Geno Smith believer, so maybe I'm just tripping or overlooking Geno Smith. But he's like 33. Yeah. Right? And he kind of took a regression in his second year there. He had the resurgence, but I'm not a believer. I'm really not. Like I think Seattle's secondary is great and their receiving core is great. But outside of that, I'm just not a believer. Like I just am not. I don't see it.
I agree. I don't understand the people that think that we're going to be at the bottom as well. I don't understand it. I really, truly don't. But let me ask you this real quick. What is your most anticipated game? What are you excited about the most? Is it just week 1 versus the Bills because the start of the season, or there's one game you're like, dang, I'm so excited for this game?
There's 3. Oh, there's 3. So week 1 is obviously just anticipated. Just football's back. We're playing a team to kind of make a statement. This is like our statement game. This is our needle mover, if you would like to say. This is kind of where do we fall on the spectrum? Are we a good team? Are we actually going to be able to buy into the hype, or is this just all me being biased? Right. So week 1 is definitely kind of that like game I'm very, very, very anticipating. The second one I'm going to say is the Washington Commanders for the reason being that Cliff Kingsbury's there. I also want to be able to dog a rookie quarterback. Yeah, I just kind of want to come in here and just smack him in the mouth and just, because the Commanders did make some crazy moves in free agency. Every time alerts are popping up, you see Adam Schefter, Commander signed this guy, Commander signed this guy, Commander signed this guy. They were active. They had so much money. They still have so much money, and they have Cliff. I just want to come in here, statement game, right? At this point, I want to be at least 2-2. I want to smoke the Commanders. And then I probably say, man, there's 2 I'm torn on. One of them is Miami, just because that is the ultimate test for the secondary right there with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. If we're able to lock them down, then I'm confident that we're able to win a lot of these games. But I would probably say if it's not that one, I really want to see what we can do against San Fran in both games.
Okay.
I really do. I think San Fran is still the best team in the league, especially in the NFC. I think in the NFC, it's not even close. Like Philly, they kind of re-up, but I think San Fran again is going to be that team that is pushing 12 wins for sure.
No, yeah, I agree. It sucks for me. I hate saying it too, but I do think that San Francisco's the favorite to win the division still. They're just good. I think their window's closing pretty soon, so they got to take advantage. But as of right now, until somebody dethrones them, they are the favorites to win the NFC West, at least in my opinion. We'll see what happens here. But shout out to my guy JK Gamer. He says, "Yo, Mike and Mythic, go Cards!" Absolutely, thanks you so very much for the contribution. But yeah, it's for me. I guess I'm gonna piggyback of what you said. The Bills, just because of the start of the season, anticipation is in the air. I'm super excited about that. I want to see what the Cardinals do in the Packers. I'm excited about that one as well. One day on my bucket list, I would love to go to Lambeau. Now I would love to go to Lambeau Field and watch my Cardinals take on the Green Bay Packers. Maybe not this year. Definitely, I got to have more of an advance to do something like that. But I'm excited about that one. And then also the Bears. I'm excited about Caleb Williams. So Cardinals versus the Bears. Kyler versus Caleb. I'm excited about that matchup to see what first overall can knock each other down. I just love the storyline with the first overall. So those are the ones I'm really excited about personally. But let's dive into the disrespect. Let's do that. Let's talk about the disrespect that we've been hearing already, because I've been hearing a lot of it. Now, I'm a part of a company called Roundtable Sports that kind of brings in division rivals amongst each other, and we kind of chop it up. It's a really, really cool thing. If you guys don't know what it is, check out Roundtable Sports on YouTube if you guys have time. If not, no worries. But I've been already hearing the Cardinals are A, going to be in the bottom of the division, and then B, the Cardinals are only going to have 6 wins. What are your thoughts on the 6 wins and the bottom of the division? What are your thoughts?
I mean, like, I can understand it from outsiders' perspective. I believe our line on like betting apps and sportsbook is 6.5. As soon as I get paid, I'm throwing $100 down on that instantly. I promise you. Just because I don't want to be right and not capitalize on some money. So hey, true. I mean, why not double my money if I'm right on the Cardinals actually proving people wrong?
Yeah,
but I really I can understand it from an outsider's perspective, or like interdivision. Like if Seattle thinks they're going to be good and they're telling me that they're actually going to be a lot better than people expected, and I just don't believe it. Because I think Seattle's trash. Like this year, I'm just not buying into it. I could be wrong. Like I could genuinely be completely wrong about that. But like, I don't know. Like watching this team and watching how close we played people, it's tough for me to look at this and be like, okay, well, we upgraded in every position. We're just going to come out here and be the same team and win 4, 5, 6 games.
Right.
We're better in every aspect. We have our franchise quarterback back for the entirety of the season. And now if James Conner goes down, we have a security blanket and a backup running back. Like, I can't see this team being worse. Like, if we don't have more than 6 wins, I think it's a little disappointing. I think it's pretty disappointing if we don't. 6, if we finish with 6, I'm going to be disappointed regardless. If we can hit 7, 8, 9, I'm happy. I really am. 7 is like we're on the fringe of the wild card. I'm a little disappointed. Like, we should have been able to win a couple games, but it's the next step. I wouldn't be mad entirely. But I think 6 is, I don't know. Because I've seen people, like you said, before we went live, we talked about it a little bit. People are boosting Seattle to the moon, and I just don't get it. Like, people are saying Seattle's a 9, 10, 11 win team, and I'm just like, where? What? Are we looking at the same rosters? 11? I've seen 11 and 10. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about this year, but I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you too. I guess we can lean on to the fact of from the outside noise. I guess we got to give those people a little bit of leeway. And you're saying that the betting sites have it at what, 6.5?
6.5.
Wow.
So it's right there. All we got to do is get 7. And I think that's pretty sustainable. I think 3 of the 4 games they're playing against rookies are wins. I think we dropped the one to the Bears. I don't even think it's because of their offense. I think it's because that defense is freaking disgusting. In the second half of the season, they were ranked number 1 in everything, and they came in here and killed us in a crazy game. They made Justin Fields look good. I don't think Justin Fields is good at all. So,
well, Justin Fields is now a punt returner now,
right? He has a new position.
Yeah, no disrespect to him, but no, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm tired of the disrespect. I really am. I want the Cardinals to come in week 1 and smack the Bills. I remember doing I was doing a live stream yesterday to kind of hear the rumors. And honestly, like I already knew the schedule with all the rumors that we were hearing on X/Twitter before it even came out at 5. Like I think I got one wrong, and that was the Chicago Bears. But for the most part, I had it all laid out. Like I was missing 3 games, but everything was laid out. I was like, okay, we know what's going to be. We just needed to wait for the official from the Cardinals.com. But like, yeah, I'm excited about this year. I truly am. I think we're going to make much more noise than anticipated. But let me get to these 2 super chats real quick. Joe V says Cardinals could have won 7 games last year with a healthy Kyler Murray. I mean, honestly, I feel like if Kyler Murray was healthy throughout the year, we would have won more than 7 games, personally. Oh, yeah. I truly think, because we could have won 4 games if it was for that Seattle game, right? 4 games there, and you can't sit here and tell me that we probably, like, we could have won that Giants game. The Commanders game was definitely winnable.
I mean, we should have won the Giants
that were winnable.
The Giants one, I mean, you can't choke that. Was it 24-0?
It was choked.
Man, I don't even want to. Gosh, dude. Commanders, we lost 16-20. Josh Dobbs had like 2 fumbles in like the 4th quarter. I think they recovered 1, and then he threw an interception. So he turned the ball over twice in like the 4th quarter, and the Commanders came back. I'm pretty sure we were up. Let me go ahead and double check.
Yep.
So at the half, we were actually tied, and going into the 4th, we were up 13-10. Defense was balling out. We gave them 10 points in the 4th quarter. Offense gave him the ball twice. So yeah, that's that. And then we choke a 24-0 freaking lead against the Giants. And then we beat Dallas miraculously, get smacked by the 49ers. Bengals were in it at halftime. Josh Dobbs throws that pick right before the half. And then that second half just goes terribly. Like a lot of these games, like we're holding teams to literally no points. It feels like we're playing great defense in that second half. It's like they're gassed because Josh Dobbs is 3 and out. Oh, we get 1 first down, 3 and out, punt the ball. And people are like, oh, but Josh Dobbs finished with 200 yards. Hey, do you remember 200 yards, thoe? But he passed for 40%.
Do you remember whenever like Josh Dobbs was our franchise quarterback?
Good God. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a reason in Minnesota he got benched and then came back. Like, guys, if you still believe in Josh Dobbs, I don't know. Like, backup quarterback, like I said, I wouldn't even hate to have him here right now as a backup quarterback. I don't think he's atrocious. But starting quarterback? No. I think Clayton Tune deserves more of an opportunity. And I've been on this. Like, we have a rookie literally sitting on the bench. Yeah. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
like, if Josh Dobbs, you're watching him put up 200 yards for 50% or 160 yards passing on 52% with like 2 picks and a touchdown. Yank him. I'm sick of it. Like, you got a rookie. Might as well just see what he has. Because maybe this kid is the next coming of Tom Brady. You don't know. Like, you really don't know. Like, I'm not saying Clayton Tune is the next Tom Brady. I really don't think that. I think Clayton Tune could be a solid, maybe quarterback 2, practice squad fringe guy. Because now we have Desmond Ridder. So I think that's a lot more comfortable than Josh Dobbs. I don't think Desmond Ridder is fantastic. But, like, in terms of backup, they're damn near the same.
He was robbed from his development, unfortunately. He was robbed from his development. That was one of those things where I didn't agree with what the organization did. But I get it. Like, I know a lot of people do not believe that the Cardinals wanted to win. The Cardinals wanted to win. And they made a Hail Mary attempt to bring Josh Dobbs because of him and Drew Petzing. They thought it was going to work out better. And, you know, Josh Dobbs kept us in some games here and there, but let's be honest. He's not a franchise quarterback. No. He didn't win us any games. So it is what it is. Let me get to my guy, JK Gamer. He says, I think the Cards could possibly sneak into the playoffs like one of those random scenarios. I agree with you as well. I think they can be a fringe playoff team. I hope so. Let me ask you this real quick before we close up shop here. The division. What are your thoughts on how the Cardinals can end? Do you think it's going to be 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks? Do you think the Seahawks are going to be 2? What are your thoughts right now? I know it's a little too early to predict, but what are your thoughts?
On the NFC West?
Yes.
Whew. I still think San Fran is going to take it. I think they're going to get to 11 or 12 wins. I think that's pretty on par for them. I just still think they're one of the best teams in the league. And then I think it goes Rams with maybe 9 wins this season, 9, maybe 8. And then Cardinals are going to be somewhere with like 7 to 9 as well. It's going to be a lot of middle of the pack. And then Seattle's probably going to fall with like 6 to 7. Or I don't know. Seattle can go lower. I think 6 is like a perfect spot for Seattle. Okay. I see Seattle with 6. So I think it's going to go 49ers at the 1, Rams 2, Cardinals 3, and then Seattle at 4. But I mean, we've had 3 division games on our. You want to pull up the schedule? I think it's 3 of our last 5 are division games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. We got Seattle literally like 2 and 3 weeks. Like, it's crazy. So we got 1, 2, 4 division games after the bye week.
4 of our last 7.
Yeah.
So a lot of these games are going to come down to the wire. Like, these games are going to matter. And like I'm saying, that 49ers game, I said this in my video, it might genuinely be one of those situations where you're looking at it and they're resting their starters because they already have the NFC West clinched and we're fighting for a wild card spot and we're playing their backups. So there's a chance that we're genuinely in this thing. Like, I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but like the NFL seems to trend that way where these games actually mean something. Like week 18 will mean something. Start flexing it because you're like, oh, if this team wins and this team loses, like they start flexing these games and then it just lines up perfectly. So I don't know. Maybe we finish 2. I could see it. Like I genuinely could. Me being completely unbiased, I could see it. The only thing is Matthew Stafford has Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back fully healthy all year long.
So to me, I guess I would say the Rams. The 49ers to me right now, I see some people here in the chat saying the Cardinals are going to win the division. I mean, I love the optimism. I really do. It's just let's prove it first before we can crown ourselves. You know, I don't think we're going to win the division. I really don't. No. I think the Cardinals are going to take the next step, but I feel like it's going to be a much bigger step than most people anticipate. Because from 4 wins, people are like, oh, the next step is 6 wins. No, not with this team. This team's ready to win. I'm not saying Super Bowl. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm saying sniffing a playoff berth, which should be the next step. But in this NFC, you might be able to get into the playoffs with 9 wins, 10 wins. If the Cardinals can accomplish 10 wins, that would be a huge dramatic jump from the 4 wins that we were. Should have been 5, maybe more if Kyler was healthy. But I'm just saying, like, that's a big jump. And that's a huge, credit to what Jonathan Gannon has done or would do if that does come to fruition, because I feel like the Cardinals can truly be playoff berth, right? Maybe we're talking about 3 NFC West teams going into the playoffs. What are your thoughts on this? We got I don't know the 49ers schedule on the top of my head, and I don't think you do either, or the Rams schedule on top of your head. If right now we're comfortably saying the Cardinals can potentially, like, we're saying the floor is 7, right? So we're saying maybe 9, 10 wins. Where do you see, just as a prediction, what's the 49ers going to win? What's the Rams going to win? And what's the Cardinals going to win?
I think my gut is telling me San Fran's walking away with 11, Rams 9, Cardinals 8, Seattle 6. Those are just off the top of my head.
That's closer than we think. Oh, snap. Okay, so you're thinking that the division's going to be pretty darn close.
I think it is. I think these games are really going to mean something, but I think the Niners are going to have the edge going into it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think all these division games in the back end are actually going to mean something. Like, crazy. Like, it's going to get insane because we play the Rams towards the back end. We have Seattle twice and right after the bye, and then like 2 weeks after that. And then we have the Rams 2 weeks before the season's over. And then we have the 49ers who might be resting their starters.
Wow. Okay. So I think now thinking about it, because I had the 49ers at 12 wins. So that would put them at what, 12-5?
12-5, yeah.
Honestly, like I could see the Rams getting 9-10, but that's the thing too. I can see the Cardinals getting 9-10 too. You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying. Like it's very interchangeable. Like I think the Niners creep away. More than anything, I think they're going to creep away with the NFC crown. I still think they're the best team in the NFC. I don't know if any other team, maybe Detroit. Detroit could take that step. And
I like Detroit. I really do.
I think Philly can still shock people. I feel like a lot of people are discrediting Philly a lot. It comes down to health. They did up that secondary and their defense. It just seems like they always just have like rotation on rotation. The thing is Jalen Hurts that guy? Like, we're really going to find out. He just lost one of his core pieces in the offensive line. Push isn't going to be as good just because you lose Jason Kelce. You lost that guy who was willing to go bang for bang, and you have that familiarity at center. Like, quarterbacks are very dependent on their life. We saw that with Max Garcia. And who was the other center in 2021? Oh, God. He kept snapping the ball over his head. I don't remember his name.
Oh, my God. I know who you're talking about, but I cannot think of his name.
Good Lord. I remember they tried Max Garcia, too. They tried him at right guard, too.
It wasn't Mason Cole, was it? It wasn't the rookie.
It was Mason Cole,
was it Mason Cole?
Was it Mason Cole? I remember he signed with the Vikings because Mason Cole signed with the Vikings, and then Vikings fans are like, "Is Mason Cole good?" And I'm like, "He's something." Like, you guys definitely got a football player. You got one of the football players of all time. You got one of them. I wouldn't be happy.
I'm so curious if it was him, because I mean, I know we traded it. We ended up trading him to the Vikings, right, at the end of the day. And I don't think he's there anymore.
No, I mean, centers can ruin your life, though. Like, Jason Kelsey's one of the best. He's a top 3 center of all time, and you just lost that. So I wonder how Philadelphia is going to do in that aspect, because they did get Saquon Barkley. They have a better running back. They have a better system around them. The receivers are still insane. Dallas Goedert's there. But is the offensive line going to take a regression? Because I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good of a passer. Like, I really don't. I think he's good at running it. I think he's strong. I think he's an insane freak of nature when it comes to just being a quarterback who's able to carry that much weight on him. Like, he's like Josh Allen. Like, these two are just freaks. Yeah. Like, they'll freaking backpack a defensive back for 15 yards and just carry him on their back for touchdowns or run through defensive linemen. Like, it's just ridiculous. But, like, I don't know. I'm not confident that Philadelphia is going to be great, but, like, I think they can shock teams if Jalen Hurts is good. I think the Packers are also a sleeper. I think the Packers are such a sleeper if they can put it together. Like, if Jordan Love, that wasn't a fluke, they could be the best team in the NFC. They really could. If that wasn't a fluke, I mean, we'll see, right? Like, I think I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Jordan Love. I think he's the third coming or fourth coming, technically. It was Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love.
That's crazy, man. This freaking Green Bay Packers just are getting it all
blessed. So annoying. And then here we are with our quarterback purgatory, right? We're like the Jets. We're like the Jets.
Oh, buddy. All right, let me get to my guy Deus. He says, K1 promised that this is the last time we are not going to make the playoffs. Go Cards, go Tune, let's effing go, sweep the West. I haven't heard this. Did you hear this? K1 promised that this is going to be the last time. I mean, if he did, that's dope. I mean, that's really cool. I personally haven't heard, but I mean, that's great if he did somewhere.
I did not hear this.
I'm excited, man. I'm really excited about the season. Let me ask you this real quick. Wide receivers. We got a hype, right? Hype out of the yin yang with Marvin Harrison Jr. coming here. Top 3 wide receivers right now in the NFC West. Not NFC, NFC West right now. Who do you think is going to be? You can throw Debo. I know if you want to, that's fine. Gosh. Some people don't say he's a wide receiver, but it's up to you. Who do you think the top 3 wide receivers in the NFC West are right now? If you want me to go first, I'll definitely go.
I don't think Debo's in there.
Me neither.
I think Ayuk is better than Debo Samuel as a pure receiver.
I agree.
As a gadget guy, just kind of impact player, can come in here and wreck your game. Debo Samuel's better. He's kind of the X factor, but he's not a better receiver than Brandon Ayuk. Number 1 is still Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
I think he's still a top 6 receiver. I don't think it was a fluke. I think he just got hurt last year, and he was still going to put up numbers regardless because it's Matthew Stafford behind there. And he's a dog. Oh, man. Do I have DK up there? Because you have DK and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
You have Brandon Ayuk. Who am I missing? Cardinals.
I mean,
you really just have Marvin Harrison. That's the only one in rotation. And then Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel and Puka. Wow. Wow. Okay, so is Cooper Kupp your number 1?
No.
Ooh. Oh my. Wow.
He's up there. He's up there.
Oh gosh. I'm
not my number 1.
I want to say DK number 2. And then Tyler Lockett is just so good and just so consistent. He kind of took a down year. Let me make sure.
Yeah. While you do that, let me give you mine. Because I didn't give you any time to prepare for this.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Brandon Ayuk 3, Marvin 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna rock like that.
That's fair. So I'm actually gonna say DK 1. Just because of the freak he is, and the crazy catches. I do like Cooper Kupp. The thing is that his injuriness always kind of gets me to the level of like, I would say DK 1, just an overall, just like freak of nature type of wide receiver. And I think I'm leaning towards him more than Cooper. It's because he should have been a Cardinal. He should have been a damn Cardinal. Damn you, Steve Keim. So I'm gonna say DK, and then I'll say Kupp, Cooper Kupp at 2. And it's close too. It's Puka and Cooper. Very, very close there. But I want to see Puka to see if he can do it again. So I'm not going to put him even in my top 3. I'm going to say Marvin Harrison Jr., buddy. I'm going to put Marvin Harrison Jr. in the top 3. I know I'm blowing smoke where we haven't even seen him translate yet. And I'm fully aware of that. And I'm fully aware that I'm putting my bias hat on. But I would put Brandon Ayuk definitely in top 5, 4. That's where I put him. But he is definitely 3 if I wasn't so damn biased.
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, I think Marv can really come in here and kind of elevate past these people. I just want to see it. I don't want to boost him to the moon because I think he is a Hall of Fame receiver in the future, and I think he's going to get there. There might be struggles early on. I mean, he could be the only receiver on this team for the first couple of weeks who really makes noise. I mean, he really could. It might take time for Michael Wilson to kind of get back to that. What my thing is with the Cardinals is we finally have a training camp where Kyler Murray is comfortable. He knows the system. He's a lot more comfortable than he is taking snaps under center. And he has that familiarity. And he kind of got things going with Michael Wilson, had things going with Trey McBride. And then Greg Dortch is his favorite receiver in my eyes. Like, before anything, last year in 2023, it was Trey McBride. 2022 was Greg Dortch. And I mean, now you have both of those guys on the field together. If you can get it going with Michael Wilson, I have no worries that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get it going. 6'4", big body receiver.
Let me ask you this. Best tight end in the NFC West.
Kittle? I'm gonna let the bias see through. I mean, in terms of overall tight ends, I still think you know what? Screw it. Trey McBride. George Kittle's number 2. I'm gonna say it. I really think George Kittle can be the best. In the system he's in, he is very limited in his just attempts and balls thrown to him. Very limited. If they open it and they're like, hey, we want to run the offense through George Kittle, which probably isn't smart because he's going to get hurt, then it's probably George Kittle. And George Kittle is a fantastic blocking tight end. He will put his body on the line 24/7. He will truck you. But they don't want him to do that. Because then if they lose George Kittle, that offense goes downhill a lot. Their run game becomes significantly worse. They need him durable. So I'm surprised they didn't open it up for George Kittle in the postseason. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that was kind of their plan. Is kind of just like let him take it easy, get him like 5 targets a game, and just have him like coast and just be a blocker. But man, they just did not open it for him. So I was surprised. So if they trend that way again and George Kittle's just a blocker, I feel like he's very limited. And Trey McBride is the best tight end. I really think so.
George Kittle right now, I think Trey McBride's better. Kittle's 30 years old.
Too. Yeah.
Kittle's 30 years old. I think if you're going to ask me, obviously, who had the better career, you have obviously Kittle, right? Kittle's had a lot more production as of right now, for sure. But you're asking me right now, heading into 2024, who has the best tight end? Right now, who has the best tight end? You got to say the Arizona Cardinals and Trey McBride, right? Because Seattle doesn't have really a reliable tight end. I think the Rams have, was it Higbee still? Or I'm not even sure if he's even there anymore. I don't know who their tight end is. Trey McBride is it.
Yeah. What's crazy, too, is I'm pretty sure George Kittle had 1,000 yards last year, but it felt like he was getting like 5 targets a game. Like, it felt like he was so limited. I believe he had I think it was one of his lowest seasons in terms of touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but I know he cracked 1,000, and I couldn't believe my eyes because it just felt like he was such a non-factor in some games. Like, he'd have 30 yards, and it's like, whoa. Like, that's so weird. But then a game where he's 120 and you're just like, okay, so George Kittle is still George Kittle.
Yeah.
But Trey McBride looked like a freaking dog, and he didn't even get to play the entire season. He was behind Zach Ertz, who they still believed in, which I don't necessarily hate, right? But there was a point, I think it was week 2, where I'm like, okay, we got this young guy sitting behind him who we kind of took in the second. I know you didn't pick him, but it's probably time to elevate him over Zach Ertz. And I was like, hey, I don't want to trade Zach Ertz necessarily. If he wants to be traded, honor the trade request. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Budda Baker, but way different because Budda Baker's someone I want to keep here for the long haul. But it's like, if he requests a trade and there's nothing there, then you honor it. You know what I mean? You do right by the player.
I agree with that.
And you try to go get value.
He requested to be released and the Cardinals granted.
Yeah, and they granted
it. It is crazy to me. And I think it's because of the veteranness, right? What he has accomplished in the NFL. And I guess I could respect that too, but I'm so glad that he finally got an opportunity because we saw a guy blossom in front of our eyes, right? Second round pick. We're not used to seeing that here. So it's this Cardinal team right now I'm so excited about 2024, man. Give me Bills week 1 already. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. So let me get to my guy, Big Mama Scooby. He says, can't wait to use Marvin Harrison Jr. in Madden. I can't wait for his jerseys to be released because I'm trying to buy one of those jerseys real quick, and I still haven't been able to buy one. So
man, I can't wait for NCAA. Like, yeah, that's fair. I'm more excited over that than Madden in a heartbeat. My family's getting ghosted. July 16th. I'm locked in.
All right.
Am I tripping, or do you think
top here?
Do you think Trey McBride?
Very much for joining me here today, chopping it about the Arizona Cardinals. If you guys missed the beginning of it, it is going to be exclusively available here on YouTube. So if you're watching on the X/Twitter world, jump on over here to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Shoot us over a subscribe. We're on the road to 14K, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely go ahead and do that. If you guys haven't already smacked the like button, definitely do me that huge favor. Smack up the like button. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.
Hey.